Welcome to our journey into the microscopic world. Today, we are diving into Chapter Cell for Class 9 Biology, focusing on a pivotal figure, Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He was the first to observe living cells like bacteria and protozoa, opening up an unseen universe. We'll explore his incredible discoveries through 4 levels of understanding, from easy basics to competitive depth. Let's begin. Ready to discover who first saw tiny living things? Let's start with the basics of Anton van Leeuwenhoek's amazing contribution. Anton van Leeuwenhoek was a remarkable Dutch scientist, often called the father of microbiology. What makes him so special? He was the very first person to observe and meticulously describe living microscopic organisms. Before him, no one knew this hidden world existed. He didn't use complex lab equipment, he actually made his own simple microscopes, which were surprisingly powerful for their time. This allowed him to see things no one else could, truly revolutionizing our understanding of life. So, what exactly did Leeuwenhoek see? He discovered tiny living creatures that he famously called animalcules, which we now know as protozoa. Imagine his astonishment when he looked at a drop of pond water. Even more incredibly, he observed bacteria, tiny organisms from sources like his own dental plaque. These observations were monumental because they proved that life existed at a scale invisible to the naked eye, laying the fundamental groundwork for the entire field of microbiology. Time to test your understanding of Anton van Leeuwenhoek's pioneering work. Here are 3 practice questions for you. Question 1. Who was Anton van Leeuwenhoek, and what is his significant contribution to biology? Question 2. What term did Leeuwenhoek use to describe the tiny living organisms he observed? Question 3. Name 2 types of living cells that Anton van Leeuwenhoek was the first to observe. Now, let's delve a bit deeper into the fascinating life and groundbreaking work of Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Anton van Leeuwenhoek's story is quite unique. He wasn't a university-trained scientist but a successful draper, or cloth merchant, in Delft, Netherlands. His passion, however, lay in crafting lenses. He was entirely self-taught in the art of grinding and polishing tiny glass lenses, a skill that would soon unlock an invisible world. Unlike his contemporary Robert Hooke, who used compound microscopes, Leeuwenhoek created simple, single-lens microscopes. What made them extraordinary was their superior lens quality, which allowed for magnifications of up to 200 to 300 times, far surpassing other instruments of his era. Using his powerful homemade microscopes, Leeuwenhoek made a series of astonishing discoveries in the 1670s. He was the first to observe animalcules, which we now identify as protozoa, swimming in pond water, a truly revolutionary sight. He also made the groundbreaking observation of bacteria from his own dental plaque, describing their various shapes. His curiosity led him to examine human blood, where he accurately depicted red blood cells and even observed sperm cells. These meticulous observations, documented in letters to the prestigious Royal Society of London, introduced the scientific community to a previously unimaginable realm of microscopic life. Leeuwenhoek's method was one of relentless curiosity and meticulous observation. He would collect samples from various sources, pond water, rainwater, even his own bodily fluids. He would then carefully mount these samples on the tiny pinpoint holder of his microscope and painstakingly adjust the focus, spending hours observing. His detailed descriptions, often accompanied by drawings, were incredibly precise for his time. His work provided irrefutable evidence for the existence of an invisible world, challenging prevailing beliefs and earning him the title, Father of Microbiology, for laying the foundational stones of this critical field. Let's reinforce your understanding with 5 practice questions at the medium level. Question 1. Describe Anton van Leeuwenhoek's background and how he acquired his scientific skills. Question 2. How did Leeuwenhoek's microscopes differ from Robert Hooke's, and what was their key advantage? Question 3. List 3 specific microscopic entities Leeuwenhoek was the first to observe. Question 4. What term did Leeuwenhoek use for protozoa, and why was this discovery significant? Question 5. Why is Anton van Leeuwenhoek often referred to as the father of microbiology? Now, let's elevate our understanding, comparing Leeuwenhoek's work with his contemporaries and exploring its deeper scientific implications. The 17th century was a period of scientific awakening for microscopy. While Robert Hooke, in 1665, famously observed and coined the term cell from dead cork tissue, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, a decade later, made a distinct and equally monumental contribution. He was the first to observe living microscopic organisms. This distinction is crucial. Hooke saw the empty cell walls, the rooms of dead plants, while Leeuwenhoek peered into a vibrant, moving world of active life. His simple microscopes, though appearing rudimentary, were optically superior to Hooke's early compound designs, providing higher resolution and magnification, which enabled him to resolve significantly smaller, living entities. Let's compare these two pioneers. Robert Hooke utilized a compound microscope, which combined multiple lenses but suffered from optical aberrations, yielding lower effective magnification, around 30-50x, and clarity. He observed non-living structures like cork cells, fungi, and insects. His observations primarily contributed to the initial concept of the cell as a basic unit of structure. In contrast, Anton van Leeuwenhoek crafted simple, single-lens microscopes with exceptional lens quality, achieving magnifications of 200-300x with superior resolution. He focused on living specimens, discovering protozoa, bacteria, red blood cells, and sperm cells. His work established the existence of microscopic life, laying the foundations for microbiology and challenging the prevailing theory of spontaneous generation, which suggested life could arise from non-living matter. Leeuwenhoek's discoveries had profound connections to emerging scientific theories. By demonstrating the existence of an invisible world teeming with life, he provided empirical evidence that would eventually undermine the long-held belief in spontaneous generation. If tiny organisms were everywhere, perhaps they weren't spontaneously appearing but were reproducing. This concept was a critical precursor to the later development of germ theory, which posits that specific microorganisms cause specific diseases. Furthermore, his observations of individual living entities like protozoa and bacteria, alongside human cells, were foundational to the eventual formulation of the unified cell theory in the 19th century, which states that all living things are composed of cells and cell products. Challenge your knowledge with these 7 hard-level practice questions. Question 1. Differentiate between Robert Hooke's and Anton van Leeuwenhoek's key microscopic discoveries in terms of what they observed. Question 2. Explain why Leeuwenhoek's simple microscope was often superior in performance to the compound microscopes of his era. Question 3. Provide examples of animalcules Leeuwenhoek observed and their modern biological classifications. Question 4. How did Leeuwenhoek's observations indirectly challenge the theory of spontaneous generation? Question 5. Discuss the significance of Leeuwenhoek's observations of bacteria for the future development of microbiology. Question 6. In what ways did Leeuwenhoek's work lay a foundation for the later development of cell theory? Question 7. Describe the scientific context in which Leeuwenhoek made his discoveries and how it influenced their reception. Prepare to dive into the deepest layers of understanding. We'll explore the intricate details of Leeuwenhoek's genius and its far-reaching scientific and engineering impacts. Anton van Leeuwenhoek's breakthroughs occurred amidst the burgeoning scientific revolution of the late 17th century, a period marked by a shift from philosophical speculation to empirical observation. While contemporaries like Robert Hooke and Christian Huygens were also advancing microscopy, Leeuwenhoek's unique, almost obsessive, dedication to lens crafting set him apart. His discoveries were not isolated events but emerged from a context where instruments were becoming extensions of human senses, pushing the boundaries of observable reality. His meticulous documentation, often through letters to the Royal Society, ensured his findings were integrated into the broader scientific discourse, despite his lack of formal academic training, underscoring the era's growing meritocracy in scientific pursuits. Leeuwenhoek's microscopes were marvels of microengineering for their time. Far from being simple magnifying glasses, they were sophisticated instruments. He independently developed techniques for grinding and polishing minute, high-quality glass spheres with exceptional precision. The key to their superior performance lay in the short focal length of these tiny, near-perfect spherical lenses. This design minimized both spherical and chromatic aberrations, common flaws in multilens compound microscopes that distorted images and reduced clarity. By using a single, high-quality lens, Leeuwenhoek achieved unparalleled magnification, up to 300x with some estimates even higher, and, crucially, superior resolution, allowing him to discern structures as small as bacteria, which were invisible to his peers using less optically refined compound systems. Leeuwenhoek's observations provided the first morphological classification of microorganisms. From pond water, he meticulously described various protozoa, including ciliates like *Vorticella** and *Paramecium**, and flagellates, possibly even identifying *Giardia lamblia** from his own diarrheal stools. His detailed drawings showcased their diverse shapes and motility. More profoundly, he was the first to accurately depict bacteria, noting their distinct forms, corky, spherical, bacilli, rod-shaped, and spirilla, spiral-shaped, from sources like dental plaque, pepper infusions, and water. Beyond microorganisms, he provided the earliest accurate descriptions of red blood cells, including their biconcave disc shape, and correctly identified spermatozoa. These detailed, accurate descriptions were foundational, establishing the very categories and forms of microscopic life that would later be systematically classified by taxonomists. Leeuwenhoek's legacy extends far beyond his initial observations. It represents a paradigm shift. His empirical evidence for an invisible world of life irrevocably changed biological thought, directly challenging the prevailing theory of spontaneous generation and laying the conceptual groundwork for the germ theory of disease centuries before Pasteur and Koch. His work inspired generations of scientists, catalyzing the development of microbiology, parasitology, and bacteriology as distinct scientific disciplines. The Leeuwenhoekian spirit of meticulous observation and instrument innovation continues to drive scientific discovery. His pioneering efforts demonstrated that true scientific progress often comes from pushing the limits of observation and developing tools that reveal previously hidden aspects of reality, thereby shaping the entire trajectory of biological and medical science. Here are the first 5 challenging questions to test your deepest understanding of Anton van Leeuwenhoek's contributions. Question 1. Analyze the historical and scientific context of the late 17th century that enabled Leeuwenhoek's discoveries, distinguishing his approach from other contemporary microscopists. Question 2. Provide a detailed engineering insight into the optical advantages of Leeuwenhoek's single-lens microscope compared to the compound microscopes of his era, specifically addressing aberrations. Question 3. Elaborate on the specific types and morphologies of protozoa and bacteria Leeuwenhoek described, connecting them to modern biological classification. Question 4. Discuss how Leeuwenhoek's work served as a critical precursor to the germ theory of disease, even though he didn't formulate it himself. Question 5. Evaluate the immediate and long-term impact of Leeuwenhoek's discoveries on the scientific community and the development of new biological fields. Now, let's tackle the remaining 5 hardest level questions to solidify your expertise. Question 6. Explain how Leeuwenhoek's meticulous documentation and communication with the Royal Society were crucial for the acceptance and dissemination of his revolutionary findings. Question 7. Beyond bacteria and protozoa, describe other significant biological cells Leeuwenhoek observed and their importance. Question 8. How did Leeuwenhoek's observations, despite not directly formulating cell theory, contribute to its eventual establishment by Schleiden and Schwanner? Question 9. Critically assess any limitations or misinterpretations in Leeuwenhoek's understanding of his animalcules given the scientific knowledge of his time. Question 10. In what ways can Leeuwenhoek's approach to science, self-taught, instrument-focused, and observation-driven, serve as an enduring model for scientific inquiry? And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of Anton van Leeuwenhoek and his groundbreaking discovery of living cells. From understanding the basics of his animalcules to delving into the engineering marvel of his microscopes and the profound impact on microbiology, you've journeyed through the unseen world he first revealed. Remember, continuous learning is key. For more such comprehensive educational content across all subjects and levels, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates and new lessons. Keep exploring, keep learning.